What? Seriously? There we go. I've needed something like that for a while. Now, while I wait for APR, I'm going to go pour myself some more drink.
Can I have a stone?
Sure.
Thanks.
That's tasty. Okay. Hello, Internet. It is 2:05 p.m. on Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Merry Christmas, Adam. Welcome to Holding Court. I'm your host, Mark Amstray, DJ Amstrack. Daniel is working, so he's only there peripherally. Today I am going to... Sorry, I got distracted. I saw in the camera that you kind of looked over here like something, and I was like, huh?
Oh no, I was just noticing it's been really cold and was like, oh yeah, I should remember this. The current cold air. Hang out over there. Because it's flowing like along the floor, like not even a foot high, I don't think.
Right. So today I'm going to be continuing Orwell, Ignorance is Strength. I started it yesterday, partway through the stream, because there was less left of Treachery and Beatdown City than I expected there to be. And so far the game has been taking place concurrently with the first game, which is kind of a neat way to do things. No, that's not what I meant to click. There we go. Let's begin. Yep, here's our recap. Our two target people. This guy went missing, and this guy left him a rather threatening sounding message on a phone he shouldn't have had the number for, which kind of incriminated him, but he seems to have been mostly unrelated to the whole thing. I mean, the two definitely had a connection, which I uncovered as I went, but yeah, something is up and it's bigger than either of them. Episode 2, Antithesis. Welcome back, Agent. We have a little bit of cleanup to do today, haven't we? There's massive fallout due to our little intervention. The National Beholder is met with public distrust, and, by extension, so is the government. Our unorthodox approach to solve the situation has been met with scrutiny. It has sparked hateful discourse between citizens of Parges and the nation. President Cassart has urged Prime Minister Blaine to clarify the circumstances of what exactly happened. Blaine is planning to travel to Triflith tomorrow. Oh, is that why Blaine traveled? Is that the real reason why Blaine went to Triflith in the previous game? We'll leave politics to them. Instead, let's make sure our favorite journalist, Rabban Vart, doesn't interfere. See what he is up to. Why is TNB Newsroom staying silent about the latest government scandal? The people's voice will fight back against our so-called President Cassart. Blaine is a murderer and liar. We need to stop him. Blame on Blaine. The National Gov are liars and traitors to their people, and we have proof. Yep, saw that yesterday. The silence of the government's media lambs. Not a word from the TNB about the latest scandal. The National Beholder is not saying a word about the biggest government corruption scandal in recent times. White lies, no matter how small, are still lies. The news that you read every day is selected, with editors wielding the power of what is disclosed and what is deliberately hidden from public eye. This corruption of the mainstream media says a lot about the power of the nation's government and their intentions. I am, of course, referring to the fact that the nation's agents murdered an officer of the Pargesian army, Oleg Bakay. To cover their tracks, they started to spread disparaging reports that I, the editor of this publication, was responsible for inciting his disappearance. Bakay's disappearance, and the cover story that I was to blame, surely would have been two juicy scandals that mainstream media would love to have reported on. However, the National Beholder did no such thing. There was no report on the murder of an important figure of Parges, nor was there a report of my supposed involvement. Getting facts wrong is very much in line with what we are used to by the TNB's reporting, yet we are utterly disappointed about this new level of ignorance. Sadly, it shows once more how these lambs follow the instructions of the national government, without questioning or showing responsibility for their duty to report the truth to the public. Connection between the Bonton bombings, as before. Yeah, timelines and Rosen tech. Heavy rainstorms. And that's all on the National Beholder. Okay, there we go. That's really the only bit that I can find right now, so I suppose I shall have to submit it. Who would have thought Raban wouldn't be satisfied with what he has achieved yesterday? I take it you will be most pleased to assist him with not being able to keep his promise. To keep this promise. But to do that, we'll need to find out what exactly this attack comprises first.
Raban, what time is it?
Time to wake up, brother.
Hey, what is it?
Karen?
Ilya? Why a conference call? What's going on?
My love, my brother. I called early so I could warn you both.
Warn us. What about?
You both are aware of the storm yesterday's announcement has created.
Yeah, there was hardly a way around it with social media. I still don't quite get how you pulled that off. These photos, how did you get them? Were the shelter's cameras still working? Is this why you kept that old notebook?
Don't rack your brains over it. I only did the necessary thing to expose the lies of the national beholder. Now, with the world seeing the beholder for what it really is, and finally shifting their attention to the people's voice, I'm ready to take the next step. This evening, I will send out a provocation against President Puppet. Narcissistic and self-centered as he is, he won't be able to ignore it.
Raban, honey, what are you getting yourself into? You don't have to do this.
I'm not getting myself into anything. I have always been right at the center of it.
What is this going to achieve? What do you want?
What do I want? What do I want? I want my country back. I called to warn you about the consequences. The people's voice will gain even more attention, and it won't only be from our followers. The nation's government, Kassat's close allies, nationalists and patriots, they will all try to hurt me, find an excuse to arrest and extradite me, but I won't give them any reason to. And you won't either.
Of course not.
Leave us out of your plans, Raban. We want nothing to do with them.
Don't you understand? It's not my choice. They are not giving me an option.
There's always a choice.
No, not always. I'm relying on you both. If there is any weakness between us, they will find it, and they will exploit it. You are the only people that I trust. The only people that matter to me. I've got work to do now. Goodbye.
Karen, are you...
Yeah, I can't. Let's not talk now, please.
Okay, in case you do want to talk, so you know.
I do. Bye, Ilya.
Bye.
The hypocrisy. If Raban is so worried about his wife and brother, why is he willfully putting them in danger in the first place? This makes me wonder whether Ilya and Karen have something worth digging up. Did Vart by any chance mention what these actions he speaks of are? Damn it. Vart will, without a doubt, find a way to provoke Kassart. The Pargesian president isn't exactly known for his mild temperament. But if we kick down Vart's door and arrest him, Kassart will insist he is extradited, entailing an outrage by his followers. Either outcome could cause this delicate powder keg we're sitting on to explode, which is exactly what Vart wants. No. We need to be smart, vigilant, tough. We need a more subtle approach. Since we can't attack Vart directly, we're going to go after the people he cares about the most. Karen and Ilya. I don't like that. I want you to dive deep into their lives and dig up any dirt you can find. Anything illegal or reprehensible we can use against them. I will turn both Ilya and Karen into target persons. You, Agent, are now fully in charge of how to approach this. Investigate at your own discretion. I'd suggest you decide for one of them and pursue what seems promising to you, but the choice is up to you. I won't hold your hand. No matter what, keep in mind Vart has planned his provocation for the evening. Get me something useful before he can put it out there.
Reprehensible, she says. Like what she just did?
Captain of Starship USS Voyager. So, looking at my bank account, I got myself the cash to quit my Watergate job soon. TM. Then it'll finally be goodbye, Bonton. OMG, mate, how could you do this to me? You were the only good person there. I must admit I'm a bit jealous, but I'm also really happy for you. Wow, didn't see that coming. Good for you, Ilya. Congrats. Oh no, Ilya, sad to see you go. WTF, aren't you chronically broke? Wonder whether his brother is aware of these intentions. Far more interesting to us is how he made enough money to start over. He could just be bluffing, but it might be worthwhile checking out. I suggest you follow the money. This is terrible. How can anyone be so stupid to think this will change anything? It's a shame that this iconic monument is now gone. Are you kidding me, Ilya? This is clearly Blaine's fault. Driving all the attention to the perpetrator is distracting people from the real problem, that the government of the nation is corrupt. Everyone knows this is fabricated. I think it's likely that this was done by the government itself. It's all a big lie. Can't believe you're spreading this fake propaganda. Lol, I guess Sumishi Aran will never finish 100 Grey Shadows. Just read the latest blabber bashing between Yvonne and McDeal. Worst couple ever. Why are you posting this? It's just some crap that this bullshit media outlet uses to try and distract you from the really important issues. Didn't realize you were into those romantic movies. Are you gonna watch it in the theater? Well, if they ever release it. But nah, it would be weird to go see a movie like that by myself. And you know, since I'm still single, no chance. And yeah, I am trying to waste a bit of time with data that is junk but not false. Because I don't like that Ampleford is having me dig into these two, but like if she's going to make me do it, I can waste her time also. But it also gives me the opportunity to snoop around more and possibly find something actually, like, heinous, I guess. Which, if that turns up, yeah, that's getting reported. We finally need to hold those people who are truly accountable for the mess that our country is in. Blame Blaine. Our government is corrupt, and that is a fact. They have done nothing good for us or our people so far. Couldn't agree more. This government needs to be changed. People of Parges, please try to stay safe. My thoughts are with you. I can't believe this happened again. Draft. Cassard is a liar. Cassard is not who he appears to be. Our president, Cassard, is nothing but a hypocrite. He is the one who incites conflicts. He is the one who incites conflicts. He never solves them. This whole mess our country is in is his fault. Plus, he looks like his hair has been tumble-dried too hot and then dragged through a puddle of horse diarrhea. I can't really write that. Levine? Like Elizabeth Levine, the politician? I figured as much. The Rehabilitation Council is responsible for servicing all the refugee encampments nationwide. Thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the victims. I just don't get it. How can anyone sacrifice the lives of innocent people just because they disagree with some laws? You must admit, though, that the safety bill is pretty messed up. Granted, the safety bill was a mistake, but the government also does a lot of great work. The Parges peacekeeping mission, for example, has calmed the situation there quite a bit. I agree, and I'm saying this as a Pargesian citizen. Having a lovely time at Bonton City Park, I organized this get-together specifically for the refugees and a National Army veteran I am counseling who courageously rejected the war and left the Army. They are getting along very well with each other. We all invite you to join and eat, talk and laugh together. Hashtag everyone welcome. A deserter? That's unusual. Deserters aren't granted social support easily. In fact, due to the safety bill, they are even prohibited from it. Perhaps she is counseling this deserter illegally. We should have a look into the matter. I'd recommend you search for official documentation on this veteran. Files, schedules, everything you can get your hands on. Report anything that seems fishy about this veteran to me immediately. Love your effort, but I don't think it's a good idea to post this much photos of everywhere you've been on that hologram page. I heard it's not that secure. Really would have loved to join you. Have fun. Thank you so much for organizing this, Karen. You are a true gem, and I loved working with you on this truly unique event. Dear Karen, I cannot thank you enough for what you did for me and my family. Thank you for all your help and for being such a wonderful person. It was my pleasure. I wish you and your family all the best. Helping out at Bonton Reception Camp today. Things can be very difficult for refugees, and I know that it is not easy to speak up. If you have any problems you would like to talk about, don't hesitate to drop me a line. Karen, you are such an angel. Your work is important and great. Keep up the great work. Thank you for always being there for us, Karen. Tonight I shall publish an article regarding hashtag Cassart and his hashtag lies. I will prove a groundbreaking revelation that hashtag the national liar would never write about hashtag media corruption. HOB Fan Club Award Top Deck Lethal. Hand of Blood. Sounds disgusting. What? Ilya's a nerd. Why does that? Dear Mr. Vart, unfortunately we have to inform you that we did not receive payment for your monthly rent for the following address. Rent for the month of March was due on March 3rd, 2017. However, our payment records state that the outstanding amount of $865 has not been received. This is the third time that your rent has been overdue, so we will forward this matter to our debt collection agency if you do not make payment in the next 5 business days. If you have made payment in the past 3 business days, please disregard this letter. A $30 overdue fee will be deducted from your bank account, with the next monthly statement. We would like to take this opportunity to remind you that failure to pay could result in eviction and court proceedings. Regards, Donald McCoffney, Manager, Penn Street Apartments. Good. His address might come in handy. Suspect of wanton bombings arrested. Ah, yeah, the first, what's her name? Blue hair, because you gotta have blue hair. Cassandra, thank you. Your memory is much better than mine. Welcome. I'm glad you found my website. I am a professional psychotherapist with a degree in psychology and medicine. I offer advice, mentoring, and support for victims of armed conflict, especially war escapees and refugees. Send me a personal message if you would like to talk about your experiences. Blog. It always helps to see that you are not alone with your experiences and feelings, knowing that others are struggling with similar issues. Read personal stories of people who contacted me here. All names mentioned below have been changed. All stories are published anonymously and with the consent of the people affected. Okay, so it sounds like he may have made some money by building someone a website. Gossipnews.tna, is President Kassart really a mafia boss? Nationalpost.tna 30 things you did not know about President Cassart. Why does that keep popping up? Pretty meager, if you ask me. This is definitely not how you made enough money to start over. There must be more than that. Not the safest part of town, especially if you're carrying cash. So this is the money Ilya was referring to when he spoke about quitting his job, I presume. We must trace the money back to its origin, see where it came from. Our president, Damien Shitface Cassart, is nothing but a hypocrite. He is the one who incites conflicts. He never solves them. He waves politely at the press every time the cameras point at him, but this bastard has his own deep, dark secrets, and I will uncover them now. He clearly comes from a wealthy family with a history of trying to gain power over the country. He abuses his power and influence gained from having way too much money and uses it to support the military industry. He is not even slightly interested in solving the conflict in our country. Instead, he adds fuel to the fire by manipulating people in order to do those goddamn gun lobbyists a favor. Turns out that these people are also his golf buddies. He is the most detestable human being that has ever walked on the surface of this earth. Hello, card game fans. We are here to have fun and play Hand of Blood. Come join us, no matter if you are young, old, or immortal and ageless. A special welcome to all entities from other worlds. Enjoy. The Hand of Blood Fan Club House League is an ongoing competition among all of our members that dare to participate. Compete with friends in annual seasons and crush them all with your skill. Win more than $10,000 in cash prizes at our very own tournament, the Hob Fan Club Major. But it gets even better yet. Every 2 years we host the largest Hob event in the nation, the National. A special thank you to our sponsors for supporting our events. Jim! I remember Jim. Maybe Ilya is a good cards player, but I doubt this will help us to find something dirty on him. I mean, that could be where the money came from. This must be the provocation he spoke about. Whatever our course of action is, we need to take it before 6 p.m. Cassart is not who he appears to be. We know him as this handsome man waving politely at the press every time the cameras start rolling. He likes spreading pictures of himself helping children or shooting dangerous animals. But behind this facade of the public servant, the hero, the formidable presenter, lies a dark truth that has never been revealed until now. He owns the media, and he owns the legal system. He has to. His family has been proven to be involved in an international crime network, one that sports a list of offenses that include drug trafficking, prostitution rings, and money laundering. Not to mention that his pocketbook also powers a slew of influential lobbyists that can ensure that Cassart is never portrayed in a negative light. Forget about solving the most destabilizing conflict that our beautiful country has ever faced. Instead, Cassart sits on his fat ass in his mansion playing virtual golf. Knowing the truth about Cassart and his endless chain of hypocrisy and lies makes it look even more hilarious that he keeps on accusing free thinkers and independent media like us of not sticking to the facts. We always check our stories, and our sources are reliable. I wonder.
Keep reading, that's an issue.
Seems unlikely, but it's worth a shot. No matches have been found against this opponent. These pictures are marked as public. Everyone on hologram can see this. Penn Street, Bonton. Awesome street art in Bonton. We have the power to love each other no matter what. Make love, not war. City Park. Well, that turned up something, but it's nothing useful at all, but it's interesting that it's there. It's a neat little detail. We'll only catch up calls from there whenever Ilya is at work. Ilya joined the lab assistance team at Watergate Pharmaceuticals in early June 2013 after leaving the Outer Bonton reception camp he had been assigned to. He is a reliable member of our laboratory workforce, and the lab wouldn't be the same without him. His tasks are specifically arranged to support the team around Section C and B of the Watergate product line, which are assigned to further develop Watergate products on the one hand and explore and research potential new pharmaceuticals on the other. Meaning he skipped work? Just like that? I don't believe it. Maybe he forgot. Or this was intentional. We need a clear statement of where he was, what he did. You are receiving this memo because you did not log in during your scheduled shift yesterday, blah. If you provide a statement describing the reasons for your failure to log in ASAP, please provide a statement describing the reasons for your failure to log in ASAP. If you fail to do so by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, you will receive an immediate termination of your employment contract. Furthermore, it has come to the attention of management that critical medical supplies are missing from our local inventory. According to our internal auditing team, the following supplies are currently unaccounted for: Spiron, Zamiralin, Knight, Compensum, Orwell active. We urge you to help clarify the circumstances of your own presence as well as the disappearance of these medications. The date of removal has been pinpointed to Thursday, April 13th, 2017. As you are aware, our inventory team is stringent when it comes to recording all products coming into the warehouse and all of those that are signed out for either sales or humanitarian efforts. These packages need to be accounted for as soon as possible. Thank you. Morgan McGuire, Product Security. Need my report now. Ilya, I need the report about my findings on the nutritional paste tests by the end of the day. It needs to be submitted to the head of Section B tonight so they can go over the test results and bring them to the department heads meeting tomorrow. Sorry, I won't have time. My work production and testing for the next supply drop for the armed forces takes priority. What? The order is much bigger than we anticipated. Since when do you get to make those calls around here? I'm your damn supervisor. I'm aware of that. This is more urgent. Look, I don't know what the hell is up with you lately. You've been coming in late, you've been back-chatting, you also keep swapping shifts on short notice, which continuously causes confusion. I know who your brother is. With the shit that's going on around here, the last thing the Watergates will want is the brother of a radical free speech writer working in Section C. Don't make me send you back to that refugee camp you crawled out of. If you fire me, it will take you months to find a new assistant, and you will fall way behind schedule. The Army isn't going to be happy with that news. So go on, keep sending these idle racist threats, wasting my time. Time I could be using to finish up that report you so desperately need. Talk to me like this again, you'll get a written warning. Get me that report as soon as possible. Sure thing, boss. With the unstable situation in Parges, it's crucial to keep our peacekeeping troops supplied at all times. Shit, you smashed me good last night. Congrats again. Haha, thanks, it was a pleasure. Seriously, since when have you been so good at Hob? I've always been this good, you just didn't know it yet. You don't miss a chance to rub it in, huh? No, sir. Oh, by the way, I have a date coming up on April 13th. Could you take my shift from me? I'll owe you big time. Huh, first you destroy me, then you come crawling for a favor. Another date? Seems like you're getting nowhere, my boy. Why bother switching shifts? Yeah, you know, luck at cards, unlucky in love. Will you do it? I would, but Matt would fire both of us if he finds out. Seems to have it in for you lately. No problem, we'll just switch unofficially. What Matt doesn't know won't hurt him, right? Won't hurt him, might hurt you, though. Come on, it's not like it's illegal. We'll just switch off the books, they won't know it. Anything happened, I need to go on this date. Wow, must be an amazing woman. You know what, I'll do it, but you'll seriously owe me for this one. I'll be totally indebted to you. Thanks, mate. How awfully nice of him. The Rehabilitation Council helps people affected by the consequences of war, especially those who have experienced severe injury, torture, loss of housing and family members, and other possible causes of PTSD. The RC's support is not limited to war zone residents, but also includes medical staff, soldiers, and others who have experienced traumatic situations during armed conflicts. We promote respect for international humanitarian law and are a neutral, independent organization committed to providing psychosocial rehabilitation services for those experiencing the trauma of armed conflict. Our services include assistance with healthcare financing for medical rehabilitation, psychological rehabilitation for PTSD patients, legal services for refugees, Army veterans, and war crime victims, access to job training, and employment. Well then, let's find out what's so therapeutic about Karen. What's that supposed to mean? We can't just storm Raban and Karen's home, but perhaps the address will be of other use to us. How does a National Army veteran fit in here exactly? Issued work phone, privately owned by employee, UID unregistered and sent to address. Publication, Post-War and Psychosocial Health, How War Survivors Experience Trauma by Jonathan L. Siegel. Politics, the party's new refugee immigration laws will help maintain security throughout the nation. Staff, please welcome our new volunteers at our volunteer briefing event on Monday, April 17. There we go. Ilyavart, period of treatment, February 10th, 2011 to April 30th, 2013. This patient is inactive. Patient category, Pargesian refugee. designated counselor, Karen Levine Vart. Ilya Vart immigrated to the nation in February 2011. He was placed in the Outer Bonton reception camp together with his brother Raban Vart, who is his only known family member. Mr. Vart fled his hometown Prava to escape the Pargesian War after his brother Raban had been severely injured during a bombing. Mr. Vart had been taking care of his brother with great devotion. However, since... wonder where that conflicts. However, since his arrival, Mr. Vart has shown signs of severe distress and trauma. His symptoms include anxiety, nightmares, insomnia, and lack of appetite. Mr. Vart will temporarily remain in Outer Bonton reception camp. His application to gain a more permanent form of residency in Bonton City Center was not granted. Mr. Vart will receive weekly counseling through his assigned social worker, Mrs. Karen Levine, whichever, in order to deal with his mental health issues. It is suspected that Mr. Vart is having difficulty handling the events leading to and followed by his brother's injury. Understandable. Quite unsurprising. Ilya's support should be terminated by now. Why didn't Raban appear there? Oh, he did. Maybe I missed before or something? The patient is a Pargesian refugee who immigrated to the nation in February 2011. He was placed in the Outer Bonton reception camp together with his brother. Raban Vart was a school principal and teacher at Prava Secondary School in his hometown until unrest in Parges reached a new peak in late 2010 and his school was demolished in a bombing. Mr. Vart was severely injured and lost his ability to walk. Subsequently, he escaped Parges to seek asylum in the nation, accompanied by his brother Ilya Vart. It has been exceedingly difficult for Mr. Vart to process the events that took place at his school, and he has been suffering from reoccurring nightmares of the bombing. He feels deeply responsible for what has happened, but is unable or unwilling to describe the exact events. He is reclusive and aggressive when being confronted with questions regarding this incident. I get that he isn't very fond of that memory, but how can he be responsible for what happened? Mr. Vart's application for permanent residency in Bonton City Center was not granted, and he will remain in Bonton Reception Camp for an indefinite amount of time. Weekly counseling has been prescribed, as well as sleep-inducing drugs in order to provide treatment against the insomnia. Painkillers have also been prescribed against phantom limb pains in his numb legs. He wasn't there on that date, then he wouldn't have been able to take them. So that seems unlikely that it was connected. They looked genuinely happy, the perfect couple finally moving in together. Life was simply wonderful, and it seemed as if it couldn't get any better. Was it true? He always used to tease me while I was on the phone. He hasn't done that for a long time. Never managed to get him away from this place. I don't think he even noticed me taking his picture. Excellent. That's not going to turn up anything. Yeah. I was going to be very surprised if it did. Let's hear what Ilya has to say. Why have a session with an inactive patient? There's something not quite right here. Are you awake? I need your help. I think I'm having a panic attack. Can't breathe. Okay, I'm here for you, Bill. Are you alone? No, but I can't wake up my wife. What should I do? Everything is going to be fine, Bill. Think of what we talked about. This is a temporary condition that there's nothing to be afraid of. This will pass. I know this is very hard, but try to breathe slowly and consistently. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, just like we practiced. It's not working. I'm so scared. Please help me. Count to 4, Bill. Breathe in and out. In and out. Just like we practiced. Are you still there? Do you want me to call you, Bill? No, my wife will hear it. I think it's getting a bit better now. Try to think of something soothing. I know this might sound generic, but try to think of a place where you felt really safe. We'll have to talk about this in our next session, but this can really help. Yes, I think I already feel a bit better now. Gosh, I feel so stupid. It really helps to chat with you, though. Thank you so much. You are a real lifesaver. Don't feel stupid. Everything is going to be okay. In case the feeling comes back, you can also contact me via my UTEL, Karen_Levine. Thank you. The session didn't go too well today. Is there something you'd like to get off your chest? I just have a lot on my mind right now. I understand. I was honestly hoping you'd let me help you a bit more for once. You can't help me. You know that's not true. I have dealt with a lot of cases. Many of them were war veterans like you, even if they weren't dishonorably discharged. You have no idea. April 10th. Looking forward to our session on the 13th. Would be great to catch up on how things are going for you lately. You sure? I can only meet super late. Need to work beforehand. That's no problem. Whatever. Molly. That's at least part of her name. Good work. If Raban has the provocation planned for 6 p.m., we'd best hurry. Only 2 more hours to do something about it. Wait, the appointment she had scheduled at that time was with Ilya. Karen had a session scheduled with Ilya at the time she was supposed to meet this Molly. That sure sounds like a cover. We need to find out whether there is a legal record of this Molly in Karen's files. If not, she will be in serious trouble. But I doubt you'll find anything with just Molly. We need a full name first. Where are you? Can you please get back to me? Hello? Oh, hey Karen, what is it? We had a session scheduled for this morning, remember? I forgot, sorry. You forgot? Can we reschedule? You can't just forget our sessions, this is serious. I had to work urgently at Circle Mall, it just came up. Oh! We've already rescheduled it before. Yeah, because you suddenly wanted to. I can't shift stuff around like you can. I have to take the work when it's on offer. Working again? How long this time? 10 hours? 12? What about your kid? He needs a mother. Listen. You don't have children. You have a good job. You have no idea what it is like. Zero. Don't you dare judge me again about not being there for my son. You're right. I don't know what it's like for you, sorry, but only because you're being so reclusive. You're pulling out of everything, slowly, steadily, stonewalling. It gives me nightmares because it's my duty to help and I can't fulfill it. We should sit down and talk about what's going on with your life for once. We did already. When I wrote you on that counseling website of yours, you said you were able to assist me, but nothing is different. Talk, talk, talk is all you do, and taking photos even though I said no. Nothing gets any better through that. I'm done talking. Got work to do now. So, no more sessions. Noted. And for the record, I'm not waiting for you to come back. Good. Seems like a new hashtag is trending on Blabber. You're going to love this one. Have a look. Before I check that out, I need more drink. And also, my foot needs to wake up. Hobble, hobble. I think we know who this Molly is. Her own counseling website. This could mean Karen is moonlighting. We could be able to find that website, but we will need a bit more information on it yet. Dear David, you have always stuck to me throughout so many years and never let me down once. This is why I turn to you. I have the feeling you are the only person I can fully trust. I am at a loss. Karen, my wife, and I... There has been so much distance between us recently, and it is only growing. She is spending so much time with her job, she seems almost obsessed with it, and I with mine, admittedly. Today I get to read on Blabber, of all places, that she has been spending her time not even officially for her counsel, no, instead she has been working in secret. I don't quite know what to make of that. It could be well-placed defamation, I'm used to that as you're aware of, but something tells me there is more to it. I feel I am lacking the strength to continue with what I am doing. The road to achieve a truly free, peaceful Parges seems even further away than ever. I need your advice. Tell me, am I still on the right track? Not enough to stop dead, I presume. Raban, your recent experiences with your wife must be wearing you down. I understand. I have no doubt your wife will understand the efforts you have put into your campaign the moment it is fruitful, and fruitful it will be. You have just taken the first steps, and you are about to take another. Of course, I cannot tell you whether the allegations spreading on Blabber against Karen are true. You need to find that out for yourself. But it is for sure revolutionaries, those who speak true... But it is for sure revolutionaries, those who speak true and all their loved ones around them, have always... been the first targets to be hit by any oppressive regime. Be watchful. You must see through what you've started. We believe in you. Your fan, David Johns. Interesting that your wife is conducting private counseling sessions with National Army veterans. Unofficially, because she is meeting your brother. What else is she trying to hide? Or should I say, what are you? Hashtag the people's silencing. WTF, didn't you say you were against the National Army? Hashtag the people's silencing. People's voice. Don't listen to the trolls. I know that your wife is a good person and ready to help anyone, even the enemy. This has nothing to do with silencing anyone. I don't see what all the fuss is about, read the hashtag the people's silencing. Raban didn't do anything wrong, and he is not responsible for his wife's secret meetings. Huh. We know him as this handsome man waving politely at the press every time the cameras start rolling. He likes spreading pictures of himself helping children or shooting dangerous animals, but behind this facade of the public servant, the hero, the formidable presenter, lies a dark truth that has never been revealed until now. Cassart does not win elections, he buys them. He controls the democratic process by purchasing media power, publishing fake stories about his opponents, and then eventually silencing them with threats or a payout. With the opponent out for the count, who cares if the vote count is fabricated? Cassart does not send ancillary troops to the areas of conflict in Parges. He does not send food or medication. He sends soldiers and bombs. Instead of solving conflicts, he causes them. The media won't report on his actions, neither in Parges or the nation. He owns the media, and he owns the legal system. He has to. His family has been proven to be involved in an international crime network, one that sports a list of offenses that include drug trafficking, prostitution rings, and money laundering. Not to mention that his pocketbook also powers a slew of influential lobbyists that can ensure that Cassart is never portrayed in a negative light. Forget about solving the most destabilizing conflict that our beautiful country has ever faced. Instead, Cassart sits on his fat ass in his mansion playing virtual golf. Knowing the truth about Cassart and his endless chain of hypocrisy and lies, I have to wonder why he feels so threatened by free thinkers and independent media like TPV. Perhaps it is because we cannot be bought. He screams that we need to stick to the facts, but the truth is, being called a liar by a fraud like Cassart is about as offensive as being called a smelly by a pig sitting in his own shit. So Ilya set up her website. We may very well be able to find some more information on it through Ilya's files then. Guess I totally forgot to even thank you for it. How about catching up for a coffee sometime? Great to hear. It's all good. You don't need to thank me. Come on, Ilya. It's the least I can do. Well, I won't say no then. Maybe we can also go for a round of hob if you like. Sure thing. Hey, Ilya not here. Okay, sorry. Huh. Open Soteria. Pfft. Good work, though. It seems not even her husband is aware of this little side business she has built up there. I'm glad you found my website. I'm a professional psychotherapist with a degree in psychology and medicine. I offer advice, mentoring, and support for victims of armed conflict, especially war escapees and refugees. Send me a personal message if you would like to talk about your experiences. Only one more hour before the article is released. We must prevent this. We must. Hello, psychology person. I'm having some psycho problems. Since you seem to have some sort of psychology degree, I figured you might be able to help me. Dear Molly, what an odd request. You sound like you don't really want to talk to me. What are these psycho problems you are experiencing? Looking forward to your response. Soteria. I have insomnia. I'm constantly in pain. I work in a low-wage job, which frankly is beneath me. I can barely afford daycare for my son. All of this because of the damn government and that safety bill. It stops people like me from succeeding in life after the service. I'm not sure if you can help me, but I'm running out of alternatives. Dear Molly, okay, now we can start digging. Issue 1, Insomnia and Pain. How long have you been suffering from insomnia? Was there an incident in your life that you think may have triggered this? With the pain, is there a physical injury that you are suffering from, or is it just a general pain? How long does it typically affect you? Issue 2, Low-wage job and low income. Could you tell a little more about your experience and qualifications? Did you complete secondary school? College? What career path did you have previously? Issue 3, Finding the right person to speak to. I believe you already have. I am more than qualified to offer you support, but if you find that this doesn't work out, I can direct you to someone else who is more suitable for your needs. Waiting for your reply. Soteria. Alright, I've never done this before. I was a combat engineer, a veteran in the Army of the Nation. They kept telling me what an invaluable soldier I was. I believed them, holding my head high and serving their needs, no questions asked. Then I lost the only person I ever loved. He was part of my unit. It felt like my heart had been sucked out of my chest, squeezed through a hole the size of a pinhead. After I lost him, I didn't care about anything. I left my regiment and was discharged for being AWOL. Then my son Michael was born. I had to pick myself up no matter how I was feeling about the loss of his father. I needed to be strong, but I'm not strong. I'm still suffering. If it wasn't for my son, I would never have reached out to you. I've never spoken to anyone about this, and quite frankly, viewing your website, I felt like it was a kindergarten for crybabies. But I guess everyone is seeking some help. I need yours. Insults aside, I think it is quite typical of ex-soldiers to feel that self-help and psychotherapy shows weakness. I find it quite interesting that despite your doubts and prejudices, you chose to reach out to me. This is no small feat, in fact. It shows you are determined to face your issues and better yourself. No matter how difficult that may be, you are on the road to healing. This feeling of loss, this overwhelming tide of emotions that you are experiencing, it sounds like you are suffering from PTSD. Post-traumatic stress syndrome is a common condition that many former ex-soldiers suffer from after experiencing a great deal of trauma during war. The good news is that with counseling, the symptoms of PTSD can be treated. How about I offer you some private sessions, free of charge? In exchange, I would like to publish your story, anonymously of course, on my blog. Female soldiers are so rarely spoken about, and I feel that your story in particular would be extremely valuable to other former servicewomen who feel they cannot speak up. Fine. I don't like the idea of sharing my story, but I also cannot afford treatment, so as long as it is 100% anonymous, I consent. Dear Molly, I am so glad that you are willing to share and help others who really need the support. I promise that I won't let you down. I'd like to focus on your remarks about the safety bill in my article, because the political criticism is sure to fuel some discussions. But to make sure I get your story right, I think it'd be best if we would meet in person. Take time to talk things through, even take some photos if that's okay. I would like to suggest the cafe at Freedom Plaza for the meeting. That should make for a fine setting for an article with some political punch behind it. We can meet there if it helps the article, but no photos from me. Keep me anonymous. I promise to keep you out of everything I write on here. I am very worried about my daughter. I think she urgently needs counseling. She's not spoken a word for about 3 months, and I don't know what to do about it. Could you give me more details about your daughter? Is there any reason you could imagine why she stopped talking? I can only help you if you give me more details. Thanks. In December last year, I tried to immigrate to the nation. I am from Parges and left the country with my 3 daughters because I wanted them to be safe. Thank you for the additional information. It seems this experience was rather traumatizing for your daughter. What were the exact circumstances of your departure? How did your journey go? What about the children's father? Did he stay in the country? My husband was killed shortly before we left. It's very hard for me to talk about this, especially to a person I do not know. Would it be possible for you to meet me in person? Your help is very much appreciated. I appreciate your trust. Please be aware that I'm doing this in my free time and unfortunately do not have much capacity to meet people in person. I do find your story very interesting though and would love to publish it on my website. It would be entirely anonymous and your real name will not be associated with the article. I think that your story would be incredibly valuable and important for people who went through similar experiences and are in need of comfort knowing that they are not alone with their problems. I have a suggestion for you. How about I conduct a UTEL phone session with you and we go through the options together on how to help your daughter. In return, you tell me a few more details about your reasons and experiences of fleeing from Parges and allow me to publish your story on Open Soteria. I promise that you will not regret it. Interesting is, well, an interesting description of something that possibly traumatized my daughter permanently. I'm really not keen on you publishing my story. I don't know what it would do to my daughters if they found out. However, I am rather desperate and worried about my youngest one. I will therefore say yes to your offer, hoping that you will be able to help. Don't disappoint me. And don't you dare use my real name. Please also change times and places. My husband was shot by a soldier of the nation. He died before my daughter's very eyes, and since then she has not spoken a word, neither to me nor my other children. She has become extremely reclusive and completely stopped playing. She is 7. I am very desperate and do hope you can help us. Thank you for trusting me, Navina. I will not disappoint you. I need help. I'm quite desperate. I keep replaying the traumatizing experiences I had in the Pargesian War. I am fully aware that this is probably some form of PTSD, but counseling is out of the question for me. I don't want my family to know that I'm weak, that I'm facing these kinds of issues. Your site was recommended on many other boards about PTSD, and I would therefore like to talk to you about how to deal with my problems. Kind regards, Bill. Dear Bill, my first recommendation would be not to self-diagnose. Whether you are suffering from PTSD or not, well, that is something that a trained professional can help you define. It would be helpful if you sent me some specifics of your actual problems. What are your symptoms, and what do you think is the cause? I can only help if you provide me some more information. During the Pargesian War, I was part of the 102nd Bomber Regiment. That also sounds familiar. I am unsure of how many people died because of my actions, and I most likely will never find out. However, I'm suffering from severe insomnia, laying awake every night, wondering how many lives ended at my hands. I'm just so tired. I really need help. Please help me. I can't do this anymore. It's okay, Bill. I am here for you. These thoughts and symptoms are very common for someone suffering from PTSD. To make a diagnosis, however, I would need to assess you further. Your story is a common one, and I was wondering if you would be willing to let me publish it on my blog to help others navigate the same issues you are experiencing. Of course, I would keep your name out of the story, making it completely anonymous. I'm not too sure about publishing my story on your blog. Perhaps you could recommend me a therapist who would consult me via phone calls? My main concern is that my family will find out that I am suffering, and with the state of the world right now, they need me to be strong. I urge you to let me publish your story. I promise your family will not find out. It will be very valuable information to anyone sharing similar experiences to yours. As a soldier, you must be a man who is devoted to public service. Publishing your story will provide an excellent support piece to help your fellow ex-soldiers feel that they are not alone, that they can also seek help, that they can be functioning members of society again. Let me publish it, and then I will help you find a therapist who is able to counsel you discreetly. I'm not liking the ethics going on, the ethics of what she seems to be doing here. It's like every person let me write about this publicly. Alright, I give you permission. I'm really desperate, and at this point I would do almost anything to make this stop. But please make sure my family doesn't find out. This is really important to me. That's great, Bill. I promise that you will not regret this. Hello, I am contacting you because I am seeking help and I really don't know where to go. My husband gets drunk nearly every night and becomes really aggressive towards me and our daughter. Last night he hit her so hard that we had to bring her to hospital. I know he doesn't mean it, and I strongly believe that deep down he is a good person. I still love him, but I am also very worried about Carla, my daughter. Could you please give me some advice on how to deal with him so he doesn't keep getting so angry? I'm very sorry, but I cannot help you. My website only deals with victims of armed conflict and ex-soldiers who are dealing with war trauma. Your case is too off-topic for me. I am sorry. I am a Pargesian refugee and crossed the border to the nation about 9 months ago. I decided to escape the war and flee with my 3 children after my husband was shot by a sniper. The journey was long and arduous, but we managed to get to the nation in good health. Unfortunately, my daughter Dara has gone through a huge change since then. She used to be a very lively child. She really loved her dad and she misses him a lot. She has not said a word since we left our home. She will neither speak to me nor to any of her siblings or anyone else that I know of. I am really worried and I am desperately searching for help. Hi, Andelka. You and your family have gone through a very rough time. Losing your husband and then having to escape to a foreign country must have been an extremely difficult experience for all of you. I would first and foremost advise you not to pressure your daughter. She needs time and space to process her grief and the changes you are all adjusting to. Try to give her as much attention as she needs and create an atmosphere in which she is heard if she chooses to speak, but also respected if she does not wish to. Openness and attentiveness are key. Now, I know that this is extremely hard for a single mother, especially since you have several children who will be adjusting in their own ways, not to mention that you yourself must deal with the massive life changes that have occurred. So take your time and try to deal with these issues one at a time. Also, remember that listening to your children is sometimes the best thing you can do. I bombed Triflith, and I can't stop hearing the explosions. I served in the Pargesian War for 1 year and was then sent home because I was injured by a hand grenade. I was very lucky to survive, and though my hearing will never be 100% again, I was even luckier to get out of the war without any major issues, at least not physically. Ever since I got back from Parges, I have not slept through a single night. I still hear the explosions. When I was sent to the conflict zone, I was responsible for dropping the bombs on Triflith. I can't get over the damage that I have caused, and I don't really have anyone I can talk to. My family is very proud, and they never stop mentioning what a great national hero I am. But I don't feel like a hero. I feel like a murderer. Every night I lay awake wondering how many people I killed with my bombs. Were they terrorists? Were they just normal people living their lives terrified of what was going on in their home? Did I kill any children? I don't know. All I know is that I wish I had never participated in this goddamn war. I wish I had realized that there will be no winners, only losers. You've been through an extremely traumatizing situation, one that no amount of training could have prepared you for. Participating in war is an experience that is very much out of this world for us, especially when compared to our comfortable everyday lives. The acts of violence on the battlefield are an extreme contrast to the calmness of home life. It is common for soldiers to experience dissonance between the horrific acts of war and life back home. In your case, this is increased by your family's expectations, who want to frame you as the heroic soldier, which is obviously making you very uncomfortable. My advice to you is to try and get long-term help from a psychotherapist who is experienced in treating soldiers. You must feel very isolated and alone right now, since you want to meet your family's expectations on the one hand, but you have a huge psychological burden of guilt on the other, which you should not carry alone. I was flushed down the toilet of life by the government. That's a weird quote.
Are they liking themselves to a dead fish?
I am a veteran of the Army of the Nation. My career was promising. I served for 6 years, was in charge of my own squad, and was a well-respected combat engineer. I was dishonorably discharged in 2011, shortly after I went AWOL because of personal issues. I was sent back to the nation as a deserter and flushed down the toilet of life by the administration of the Army, the government, and their safety bill. Since then, I've been working in low-wage jobs, live in a crappy apartment in the industrial quarters, and can hardly afford daycare for my son. After many years, I now realize that the causes I was fighting for in the Army were an illusion. I don't want my son to grow up in a country that doesn't respect its own people. They have not only flushed me down the drain, but the whole country. This government sucked up all of my vitality just to spit me out again. All I am left with is anger and a huge urge to keep my son safe from all this bullshit. First of all, thanks for reaching out to me. I know how hard this must have been for you. Although you feel you are up to your neck in defecation, to use your own metaphor, I believe you are actually handling this with a strong will. That strength protects you and your child from giving in to this huge disappointment that you are currently experiencing. You feel betrayed by your country, and you are angry that they sucked all the life out of you just to abandon you after you dedicated 6 years of your life to them. But don't forget that you were responsible for climbing in the ranks of the Army, no one else. It was your dedication to the service and the skills you displayed that made you fit to have such a high position. While your Army record may be a burden when looking for employment right now, you are clearly an intelligent woman who must persevere. I believe that your previous skills will eventually help you get your life on track again. In the meantime, please stay in touch And Molly, I will make sure to you receive appropriate counseling. Since you are also from Bonton, I would also like to offer you an opportunity to meet so that I can assess your case in person. I guess it's up to us to find out whether she lived up to that promise. Freedom Plaza, everyone's favorite meeting place, apparently. Well, not anymore after yesterday's bombing, I suppose. This has been updated again. Let's see, that first paragraph looks the same. Yeah. Right. Actually, that's a good way to describe Cassard. A pig sitting in a big pile of his own bullshit. He's no leader, he's a criminal. Corruption, greed, and a huge amount of dangerously consolidated power has caused Pargis to go down the drain, and this narcissistic bastard is to blame for it. Waiting for my first session with Nina Maternova, who wanted to be addressed by Molly for some reason. At the Plaza Cafe. Sadly, she wouldn't let me take any pictures of her. Huh. Molly. Well done. Nina Maternova, is it? Now that you have her name, it should be possible for you to obtain official documents on Nina. Karen. Did you meet Ilya yesterday? What? Where did you get that idea? Because someone told me very specifically that it happened as a session. You believe a random guy telling you things about me? I told you I was talking to Nina all night. So you just confirmed it. Confirmed what? I have also been told that she is not an official patient of yours, and you're covering for her with Ilya. What the hell, is this an interrogation? Alright, fine. You're right, Nina isn't official business. I'm counseling her, but as far as the council is concerned, it's for Ilya. Why did you lie to me? You should have told me. It's not exactly legal, that's why. Are you out of your mind? You've been taking care of that army woman all night illegally? See, this is exactly why I didn't tell you. I will not allow you to threaten the reputation of the People's Voice. You don't get it. To you, it's all about TPV and your reputation. Some people actually care about others, no matter what. I've got to go and check on someone, Karen. Someone who actually needs me. I'm sorry. You've only got time for 3 more data chunks. If you're sitting on something valuable, you should hand it to me now. Nina Maternova, this patient is active in the Rehabilitation Council. That's interesting. Designated Counselor Karen Levine Hart. Mrs. Nina Maternova was a National Army sergeant serving stationed in Parges for mine clearance. During her participation in the Parges peacekeeping mission, she suffered severe trauma from a leg injury and to the death of her boyfriend, a fellow soldier, due to an undiscovered mine in 2011. This incident caused her to run from military service, from which she voluntarily returned after some time. Despite the hardship she endured, Mrs. Maternova has been dishonorably discharged for being absent without official leave. The patient has since experienced severe insomnia and various forms of chronic pain. Additionally, extreme mood swings have been reported and phases of abnormally aggressive behavior, especially when confronted with details of past war experiences. Mrs. Maternova is being psychologically treated by Mrs. Karen Levine Vart, receiving treatment pro bono as per Levine Vart's request. Though being extremely uncooperative during sessions and often not showing up at all, she has been receiving very good reviews from employers via our cooperation partner WorkEasy, where she already took jobs before the treatment. She is therefore considered successfully integrated in an everyday work environment. Since her ongoing health issues have not improved so far, though, Mrs. Maternova is being signed up for mandatory weekly counseling. What? Pro bono? Is Karen the goddamn Salvation Army? That's just brilliant. Brilliant, so it is an official job after all. Means we have lost the scent as far as Karen is concerned. I think it would be wise to turn to Ilya now and investigate him further. to go record my life real quick. Did it again?
What?
The button flies. Ilya is in need of money. That didn't turn up anything new like I hoped it would.
Really? You ass. Put that back.
That won't turn up anything, but... And I could see it turning into an Easter egg, but...
Space.
Well, I only have time for one more thing, so, Oops. An example of fraternal love, huh? Sweet, but not helpful. God damn, Raban released a new article on the People's Voice. It's the provocation he spoke about. How the hell did that happen? Why didn't you come up with anything? What are you actually good for? No, I won't let that stand. I demand that you get me something, no matter the cost. Get on to it. We can at least divert people's attention from this pile of shit. Okay, is there anything here that is different from the drafts? No, that appears to be the same as the last draft we saw. Well, now that the thing has happened, I can be a little less careful with what I submit. Although I can... Together with his brother Raban, makes sense. Okay, that turned up a new document, which I didn't expect. Yeah, of course. The immigration... yeah. Social security number... Great, just great. The article is picking up on blabber. See for yourself. We need to take some action to keep people from engaging with that article. Raban, we stand by you in these difficult times. The people of Parges need you more than ever, and we will support you in your fight against #national liars. What the heck is up with all these goddamn new cameras at Freedom Plaza? F surveillance. Our so-called government leader is nothing but a hypocrite. Read what I found out about him. Well, that didn't turn up anything new. As bad as it looks, this seems to be the only, missing supplies at Ilya's workplace, and it is unclear whether he was there or not. Smells dirty. Not to forget, he actually got a bunch of money in his bank account. We don't quite know where it came from. If you could somehow prove Ilya was present and able to steal supplies, we could go for an arrest on him. Check his alibi. Find out what he was doing at the time the supplies disappeared. Pretty vague plan. See whether you can confirm he really was on a date instead of working. I don't see that being helpful, but I've been making my mind up about this whole card-playing thing that Ilya has going. He won a tournament playing cards, so we should rule out the possibility that he received prize money from a match there. Why? Oh, lovely, a bleeding heart. Here's the thing I've learned. Starry-eyed idealism gets you nowhere. There are things, ugly things, that have to be done for the common good. Well, isn't this just too sweet? I doubt we can put this to any use, sadly. This is kind of devolved into the classic adventure game, rub every item on every other item until something works. Ow.
Apply scotch tape to cat to make mustache.
What game is that from again? Because that is... I recognize that as a thing.
One of the Gabriel Knights.
Ah.
I think 3. I've never played one of them. It's
Me
just
neither.
infamous for being the nadir of weird adventure game logic. You then proceed to use the mustache to trick some bikers, and I think steal a bike. It's odd that this behavior is permitted, considering you're working for a literal angel.
now that name appears. And there it is. Prize money. That much money from a card game tournament? Perhaps I should consider playing. Anyway, now we know the money isn't for the missing supplies. That doesn't mean Ilya's off the hook yet. It's still unclear whether he was at work or not at the time of the supplies' disappearance. Keep looking into the date he mentioned. Huh, yet another hashtag trending. Someone has been busy. Hashtag TPV are liars and thieves. That's a mouthful.
I don't care for that.
This is clearly a campaign against Raban and Ilya to bring them down. I am sure that the government is behind this. Don't listen to any of these lies. TPV are liars and thieves is clearly fake, and anyone who can't see that is just a blind government puppet. I'm not the biggest fan of his writing style, but I know for sure that Ilya would never steal. Take this from someone who knows what he's talking about. TPV are liars and thieves is complete bullshit. At People's Voice, there's an internal investigation at Watergate against Ilya Vard, editor at TPV. Disappeared supplies. Guess now we know how the TPV manages to stay financed.
The People's Voice?
The. On Singular and still lonely? Doesn't have to be that way. Sign up for Singular Pro and get instant access to blah 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 blah. No, you received this email because Karen signed you up for Singular and you created an account. To unsubscribe, please write an empty email to unsubscribe. And blah 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 blah. A scheduled session. Now she signs him to Singular. I wonder whether this is a service that comes with the council. Knowing that Karen signed him up for Singular, you may find a hint to Ilya's Singular account somewhere in her files. Yep. I remember seeing that. Damn good coffee is a quote from something, and I don't remember what it is. I'm gonna look it up. It would help. Oh, Twin Peaks. Sure. Dear Mr. McGuire, please find my written statement below as requested. I arrived at work early yesterday afternoon around 3:51 p.m. Soon after my arrival, I noticed I had left my security card at home, so in absence of Mr. Budija, I decided... Budija. Let's go with Budija. I decided to inform my colleague Mr. Ellison about it. Mr. Ellison assured me I would be totally fine despite being unable to log in properly, and that he would get the matter sorted for me. During the entire shift, starting from 4 p.m., I was working on maintaining the assigned technical instruments in sections A through G, until I finally finished up and left around 11:12 p.m., or 11:22 p.m., and got home, where I still am. Apart from the missing security card, there were no unusual events. I did not even see anybody in the labs, and I am sure I wasn't seen by anyone else either. In short, I was at work on Thursday as planned, and I have been the entire shift on my own. Mr. Ellison will gladly confirm this statement. Best regards, Ilya Vard. work for a big pharmaceutical company, and I enjoy blowing off some steam with my PlayStation on the weekend. Occasional writer and explorer of cities. Wait a second. It shows recent profile visitors, and I'm pretty sure one of them is the professor guy from the last game.
Oh.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything apart from confirming the ambiguous suggestion that he was gay in the last game.
Our old cancer ghost that had a hand in the creation of this monstrosity.
Mm-hmm.
I desperately tried to stop it.
That guy.
Feel bad for him. He went a little too far in the end, but a sense of urgency can lead one to extreme measures.
There's not a lot to go on from what little is on your profile, but for some reason Singular thinks will be a good match, so I'm going for it. Smiley face. What are your favorite games to blow off some steam with? Right now I'm trying to play through Dash Iguana Perfectly Sane Trilogy, but it's just so much harder than the originals. No matter how hard I try, I keep falling down the pits and dying over and over again. I also spend some time with Don't Starve, which is really cool, but I barely make it past the first few days. Anyway, I hope to hear from you soon. Hey Astro Jess, I've been stalking the fields looking for robot dinosaurs in that game Skyline Infinite Dawns. I'm usually not into those crafting survival games, but there's something I find quite romantic about leaving society behind and trying to make do with nothing but your wits, some twigs, and some hope. Haven't checked out Dash yet. The reviews have me sitting on the fence. I haven't had a chance to check out Skyline yet, but the videos have me intrigued. Might pick it up during the next sale. So what do you do for work? Right now I'm about to start my dream job. I was accepted to become a trainee train driver, which is super exciting. Soon I'll be carrying passengers all across the nation, and who knows, beyond. It's all very exciting, but also a little daunting. Trainee train driver? That sounds like a lot of responsibility, but that is fantastic that you have pursued your lifelong dream. I work for a leading pharmaceutical company. Not entirely exciting, but pays the bills. Everyone needs medicine, right? Being from Bonton, I'm guessing you're at Watergate, is that correct? Yeah, Watergate, you're right, but I'd rather not talk about it. Don't exactly enjoy working there. Sorry, I totally get that. Forget I said anything. So what are your plans for the weekend? Maybe we could meet for coffee. I'm working, maybe some other time. That's cool, I understand. Hey, how was your weekend? Mine was pretty hectic. A friend of mine dragged me to Bonton to see the Targets play a show, but they never turned up. The next day we heard that the band had called it quits, but didn't bother to tell the venue or any of their fans. The rumor mill has been swirling, but at least there was a support act, I suppose. Wow, that sounds like a mess. I just worked, nothing exciting. You sound a little down. How about that coffee sometime this week? I'd really like to meet you. I'm not sure if I can, I'm a little busy. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you just message me if you change your mind. Okay, so that is what's her name from the previous game also. Pretty sure. Well, I mean, Jessica, pretty obviously, but I think that was her name. It would certainly imply it by her username on here. Oh, he's dating someone named Mary P. Can't believe we're doing this, dating and all. What can I say? I haven't stopped thinking about that magical evening we had the other week at the hotel. I haven't either, although I must admit I'm a bit on edge. Are you sure this is a good idea? Yeah, it's sweet that he's dating someone and all that, but is it worth something to us? Calm down, Ilya. Everything is going to be alright. Nothing bad will come your way. I'll make sure of it. I've been doing a lot of thinking. My brother's reach seems to grow stronger and stronger each day, as do his crackpot theories about who are wronging him, who is watching him, and who conspires with whom to ruin either Parge's or his reputation. I can't even take a goddamn piss without him timing me these days, or at least that's what it's beginning to feel like. I don't know how much longer I can stand this. Well, perhaps a bit more distance between you and him could be helpful. You told me you'd been writing a lot of articles for him lately. You're right, back in the day it was all for nobility, for a cause. Now it's just a mishmash of reasons, most of them I don't agree with. I don't think I can go on like this much longer, and I don't think we believe in the same cause anymore. It's okay to not believe in the same things as him. You have your own life, Ilya. You don't always have to stay the younger brother. It always makes me feel better to talk to you. I think I gotta see you again. Want to meet again? How about Thursday? Of course I do, but another day, I have the late shift on April 13. Thursday would be best. Can't you swap shifts with someone? I've been doing it too often lately, but I'll figure something out. Great, looking forward to it. Yeah, me too. So, I hope you don't regret spending April 13th with me instead of your late shift. Thanks for the lovely evening yesterday and the amazing night. Likewise, being with you is, I don't know what to say, amazing. God damn, so he was on a date at the time in question. This means Ilya is off our hook. We can't get him in for having been on a date. We've investigated Karen before to no avail, so what are we going to do now? We're running out of options.
Karen,
Hey,
why are you calling me? I thought we agreed that...
something has come up.
What do you mean, come up?
Raban just texted me about yesterday.
Shit. That's just brilliant. So he knows.
No, I don't think so. There is no way he knows that I'm Mary P. He was just talking about us having a session yesterday.
A session? How? Where did that idea come from?
I really have no idea. But don't worry, I talked him out of jumping to any conclusions. For now, at least.
If Raban finds out, you have no idea what he's going to do. What he is capable of.
You're forgetting I'm married to him.
Why don't you leave with me then? I've already put some money aside and...
Please, we've talked this through. I can't just get up and leave. I just can't.
You're right. So, what do we do now?
Nothing. Sit tight. We probably shouldn't see each other for a while to avoid suspicion.
I understand.
Good. I've got to go now. I'll touch base later. Bye, Ilya.
Goodbye, Karen.
Oh! I see. What? Are you telling me Karen was Ilya's date? This could turn out beautifully. Let us work our magic for a moment. There. It seems Raban isn't sold on it yet, judging by what he wrote on Blabber. See for yourself if you like. We need some savory details, something he is unable to ignore. Do you think you can handle that? I don't want to. Tyler Durden? Really? Not interested in discussing your wild fantasies. It's simply hilarious. You always seem to live in your own dream world, don't you? Perhaps this is your wake-up call. Liars get lied to. No idea what the hell you're talking about, but I suppose your own wake-up call has not happened yet. Haters gonna hate. They always try to find dirt on you, but no one should believe this liars get lied to bullshit. Watergate is said to not have the best working conditions. Maybe there's some truth to that. Else I can do here. A hotel. I like where this is going. Meow. Meow. Once again, I'm running out of...
Smell my oats. Smell them.
Maybe you should have a deep look into his favorite whiskey so we can exploit his presumably bad taste. That was a joke, obviously.
Smell my finger.
I doubt we can arrest Ilya based on things he doesn't like, unless engaging in illegal activity. Engaging in legal activities is on his list. Good, good. We're getting closer. Meow.
Yes, inject this directly into my veins. Okay, but the vaccine is intramuscular. Why do people keep saying that? Sorry, just excited. Okay, for last time, the shot is free, so we can't shut up and take my money. It's free.
This picture is marked as private. I haven't felt this happy for such a long time. It was a perfect evening, but what does this mean? I don't know. I just wanted this moment to last forever. It's the only way I have forward, so... Oof. This is brilliant. We wouldn't be able to make this up. Who needs something illegal when we have something far more provocative? Yeah, Remy. Even with his provocation out there, this piece of news is going to hurt Raban badly, that's for sure. He won't be able to ignore this. Let's get it done. Shouldn't be too long before... Oops.
Hey!
Karen, is there anything you want to tell me?
No? Is there something on your mind?
Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. I've been sitting here stewing, wondering how my loving wife could have done this.
Could have done what? Raban, what's wrong?
Karen, are you sleeping with Ilya?
What? Are you crazy?
Even when you're caught red-handed, you choose to lie to me, which shows me exactly what you think of me. A fool.
Raban, honey, I...
Don't you dare call me honey. How could you do that to me? Both of you. You are not my wife anymore.
That suits me fine. Typical Raban. Flies off the handle and won't even listen to my side of the story. You've been so cold, obsessed with your hatred of the nation. For so long now. You've changed. You're always scheming, making plans, writing this hateful stuff. You scare me, Raban.
Oh, and instead of talking to me about it, you decide to get into bed with my brother of all people. For God's sake, Karen, you're a caseworker. Talking about emotional problems is your specialty.
You wouldn't have listened to me anyway. It's always you first. Everyone else around you comes second. I guess Ilya just made me feel needed. Truly wanted.
You supplied my enemies with the ammunition they have been waiting for. Because of what? A glimpse of lust? I wanted you. I needed you.
You didn't. You don't need anyone. Only yourself. I'll be home soon to get my stuff.
No, Karen. I'm not letting this end so easily.
Ruban calling his wife? I bet I know what that was about, and I wish I could have listened in on it. If only you had found out about the affair earlier, before Ruban published his article. Well, it doesn't matter now. Those delicate pictures will spark a discussion big enough to divert attention from the people's voice. A form of damage control. The people's voice has a new announcement. You should tune in as soon as possible. Meow. I am not afraid of you, and I will not go away. The media manipulators are trying to attack me. This goes to the government agents who dared to try to attack me using my personal life. You will be sorry.
My dear followers, it might come as a surprise to you, but you aren't the only ones who are listening to me. You are not the only ones watching me. The government has been after me for a long time, snooping and prying into my personal life in a feeble attempt to discredit me. That much I was aware of, and I treaded carefully day and night. But even I could not have anticipated the methods they would resolve to. You have probably seen the dirty pictures by now. They spread around the internet like a plague, showing my wife and my brother. Nothing about that is true. These are mere montages. It is a pitiful, meritless effort to antagonize me against my family, to ridicule me. But I will not shut the people's voice down, neither now nor ever. I owe it to you, my supporters, to speak out loud what needs to be said. I won't allow anyone to intimidate me. No, I will not stop. I will fight back, and more furiously than ever before. I will go after them. I will pick their precious lies apart one by one and expose their misdeeds so they are plain to see for everyone. All of you shall be witnesses for the truth.
Despite our best efforts, we were unable to prevent Raban's provocation to President Kassart. I feel there will be consequences. However, we did manage to contain the damage and distract the public from that insulting article. You may log off for today. We will see what tomorrow brings, but I don't think Raban will do us any favors and simply go away. No new information in that. And thus ends day 2. With the attention he had gained, Raban Vart tried to publish a provocation aimed at the Pargesian president Kassart. We were not able to stop Raban Vart from releasing the provocation against President Kassart. We published a photo of Karen and Ilya's affair to distract from the provocation. Karen Levine Vart. She is a social worker at the Rehabilitation Council, specialized on Pargesian refugees. She is counseling a National Army veteran who deserted. She had a session with Ilya Vart scheduled for yesterday. We determined she must have covered for her sessions for the Army veteran with Ilya's sessions. She maintains a counseling website named Open Soteria. The Army veteran's name she is counseling is Nina Maternova. The trace we followed came to nothing. She was working pro bono with the Army veteran. She is dating Ilya Vart under the alias of Mary P. We published a photo proving her affair with Ilya Vart. Ilya Vart is the lead editor at The People's Voice. He intends to quit his job and leave Bonton with recently acquired money. He received a large payment in his bank account recently. He is devoted to his brother and supports him loyally. He didn't log in at the time supplies went missing at his employer, Watergate Pharma. He had asked a colleague to take over for him at the time of the missing supplies because of a date. The payment he received appears to originate from a card game tournament win. He was not involved in the supplies' disappearance. He had switched shifts to go on a date at the time in question. He plans to provoke President Kassart with a defamatory article. He feels responsible for what has happened to his school. He appears to be discouraged and unsure about his course of action. Alright, and that brings us to 5. So, thanks for watching. I'll be back... No, I won't actually be back tomorrow night, because tomorrow night, Radio PSI is having their annual Christmas Eve show. So, tune in for that. I forget what time. I'm sure it'll be the evening. Or... afternoon at the earliest. But I should be back Friday afternoon, Christmas Day, to continue this. So, thanks again, and I do hope to see you next time. Later, everybody.